Okay, so there guys, so today's video is going to be another 24-hour readathon, and I'm really excited to do this video again because I wasn't really sure what I was in the mood to read when the month started, but I'm currently reading an arc, The Hollow Hunt by Margie Fuston, and that's what I decided to read literally March 1st. Today is March 1st. But I feel like if I don't go into mood reads after I finish that book, I feel like I am not going to want to read as much. So I picked like pretty short books for this video and also for this readathon, and also a book that I've been putting off for a long time. So if I read all of these books in this video, then it will fulfill 3 prompts that are on my TBR, and also all these books are on my TBR for the month of March. So this is the TBR for this 24-hour readathon. It's 4 books. We have 3 like rom-coms, but like 2 are like kind of more paranormal or magical realism, and we do have a thriller in the mix. So the first book that I'm going to be picking up, and I know I'm going to be picking up this book after I finished the arc, and that is A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. I've been wanting to read this book for I don't even know how long at this point, you guys. I've owned this book for way too long, and honestly, I feel like this is the time for me to read this book because I've been wanting to get into this series and get into this romance, fun, witchy rom-com demon vibes, and I think it's just going to be such a good time. So this is my prompt for literally a book that I've been putting off. I don't know why I haven't gotten to this. Like, I'm usually pretty freaking good at getting to my romances because romances are literally like the easiest books to read in my collection because, you know, they're just good little palette cleansers in between like series I'm reading. But honestly, I just really want to start the month with this book because if I don't, I feel like I'm going to keep on putting it off, but also, like, I'm just so excited to read this. So that is definitely going to be the first book that we read. And then the second book is, like, a very, very popular thriller, and I haven't read it yet, but I've been waiting for it to come out in the paperback, and it finally did. And that is First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. And this prompt is basically any book that I want to read this year. So it was basically like a free pick. So I was like, I do really want to read this book, and I knew I wanted to put it on my March TBR. And also I had just gotten it like maybe not even 2 weeks ago. So also I'm kind of trying to film this, reading vlog a little bit earlier in the month because I just picked up these books, and depending on whether or not I like this, I might end up returning it. Because I usually don't keep thrillers. I usually end up returning them just because I don't really see a point of keeping them. And also, like, my collection is getting to be pretty big at this point that I've been, like, you know, decluttering books when I can or returning books that I don't really feel like I need to keep. I'm definitely going to be keeping this book. And also, this book is just too old, but also, like, I wouldn't want to give those away anyway because I have the whole series. I just haven't read it yet. I just know I feel like I'm going to like these books. And then depending on how much time we have, we're going to go into one of these. But we might get like halfway into the other one because last time I did end up reading like I said, I had like time to read like 3 books, but also both of these books are very short. But I do want to read this one over the other one, and that is Expiration Dates by Rebecca Sturley. This book is only like 250 pages. And also like I said, I just wanted to pick like really short reads right now because like I don't really want to feel like I'm overwhelmed by my TBR, and I also feel like if I pick shorter books at the beginning of the month, then I feel like I'm going to want to read again because even though I was feeling like not reading in the beginning of February, I still ended up reading like 20 books, which is crazy. And I just posted my reading wrap up today, but you're not going to see this 24-hour readathon until probably like next week. But I've been seeing this book circulating online for a little while, and it sounded so cute that I do want to read it. And also I pretty much picked this up around the same time as First Lie Wins and also The Rose Bargain. And I did read The Rose Bargain and I loved it. And I talked about that in my reading wrap-up video. And I picked this one up at the same time because it was like buy one, get one half at Target. And I just love like the new paperback that it came in. And this one just sounds so freaking cute. So these 3 books are definitely going to be read in this video. Depending on how much time we have, though, I will probably end up starting this one. Or I might just go into the series that I really want to read, because I do really want to read This Woman Kingdom by Tara Mafi. But depending on the mood that we're in or how much time we have will determine whether or not I go into this one or this one. But it's probably going to be this one. And the last one would be Next of Kin by Hannah Bonham Young. I am currently working through the books that I read, that I own from Hannah Bonham Young. And I've read both of the books in her Out on a Limb series. I just read Out of the Woods at the end of January, but that was like a month ago already. I can't believe that. That was the last book that I read in January. But I haven't read the Next of Kin books yet, and I've been putting this on my TBR. I tried to read this in February, but I just didn't have time. And then I also put it on my March TBR. So, again, depending on where we get to, we might end up getting halfway through this book. We might end up just, like, getting through 100 pages. But this book is only, like, 290 pages. So, and I feel like I would still probably be in the mood for it. And I'm not going to count, like, the bonus epilogue in how long it is. This book is only 280 pages. And then with the bonus epilogue, it's 290. And then, like I said, this book is only like 250 pages. It's super short. So yeah. So this is the TBR for this video. I'm actually not going to start the 24-hour readathon right now until after I finish the arc that I'm reading, but I just wanted to tell you guys again what the TBR was right now. Because I'm probably going to start this challenge on Monday, because Monday I don't really have any plans with anybody. And then Tuesday I don't go out until like 4 or 5 o'clock. So I should be like probably 60 or 70% into this book at that point, because I'm sure this is going to be like super fast paced. So yeah, I just always feel very overwhelmed at the beginning of the month usually, and it's like, how many books am I going to read? And then I always end up reading like 17 books or more by the end of the month. And the fact that I read 21 books in February, in the shortest month, and I read like, I think 16 or 17 books in January, so I read literally 5 more books than I did in January, is fucking crazy. But I also, like I said, I did read 3 novellas in February, so minus the novellas, I don't know why I can't do basic math. 21 minus 3, I believe, is 19. I just don't know why, like, you know, don't say I'm stupid, alright? Oh my god, yeah, put plus. It's 18 books. So I still technically, and then that was 2 audiobooks. So I still technically read my usual rate, which is 16 books, and then 3 novellas, and then 2 audiobooks. So that's pretty good. So yeah, I'll shut up and I will let you guys know when we start the challenge and when we start this book. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Okay guys, so I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm only less than an hour in. I'm at 23 hours and 6 minutes. But I just wanted to update you guys on how much I'm loving this book. So I'm having the time of my life reading this right now. This book is fucking hysterical. So, like I said, I started A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. I'm on page almost 60 because, like, the last chapter leaves off on, like, page 58. And I actually borrowed the audiobook from the library as well, because it was also available to borrow, like, right away. And the audiobook is freaking hysterical. I only read the first 2 chapters, like, physically, and then I just had to go to Target, so I wanted to just put the audiobook on while I was driving, obviously. And I think the audiobook narrator is hilarious. Basically, Mariel is kind of like struggling to be like a better witch, and she's struggling with like her magical powers and like her spells, and she tries to summon I actually forget who she tries to summon when she accidentally summons or Ozroth the Ruthless is a legend among demons. Powerful and merciless, he drives hard bargains to collect mortal souls, but his reputation has suffered ever since a bargain went awry. If he can strike one with Mariel, he will earn back his deadly reputation. Ozroth can't leave Mariel's side until they complete a bargain, which she refuses to do. Turns out some humans are attached to their souls. It's just so funny because, like, the humor in this book has been freaking hysterical. I have to read one quote to you already because I was just cracking up. So it says, "You'll get one this year, I'm sure of it. You're just a late bloomer." This is her mother talking to her. "Your father says sometimes genius works like that. A witch seems like a useless idiot for years and then something clicks. Have you tried Ritalin? I heard it does wonders for improving focus." And then she says, "I don't have ADHD, Mom." And her mother replies, "Yes, I know, but abusing drugs can be surprisingly useful. I once went on the longest cleaning spree after snorting coke with your father in college." It's just, like, why would she even tell her daughter that? It's just so funny. But, like, her sister, her daughter, like, doesn't even listen to her mother, and it's always, like, you know, just basically, like, letting your mother talk on the phone. I love how I'm holding the book when I have my phone, like, right here. Like, hello. Let's talk to the book. So, yeah, I'm just gonna start reading some more now, hopefully for, like, an hour before dinner. My mom, like, is so crazy about making dinner, like, super early, so, but I literally just ate lunch, like, an hour ago, so I don't really want to eat this early. It's only, like, she's been making dinner at, like, 5:30 now, and I'm like, why the fuck are you making dinner so early? Like, the sun is still up. Like, can we eat at, like, 6:30 maybe? So anyway, having the time of my life, and I'm just going to continue reading this. This book is so freaking bingeable already, so I'm hoping to get to at least page 100 before I eat dinner. So yeah, bye. Okay, so hey guys, so I wanted to... oh my god, why am I dying? Make another check-in on where I'm at in the timer and where I am in the book that I'm reading. So right now, I'm only at 21 hours and 1 minute and 6 seconds. So I've only been reading for pretty much 3 hours today. But I'm so far into this already. I'm halfway through. So I'm on page 183. And that's with reading it physically and listening to the audiobook. And I already made it halfway through. This book is so fast-paced, so bingeable, and so fucking funny. Oh my god, I'm laughing like every other page. It's just hysterical. This is just... I'm having the time of my life, like I said, and I cannot believe that I didn't pick up this book earlier. I'm so glad that I put this book on my TBR cart, because honestly, this was probably the one book that I was putting off the longest. Probably even longer than Billy Summers by Stephen King. And I'm pretty sure I've had Billy Summers on my TBR for a lesser amount of time than this series. Yeah, Billy Summers I put on my TBR July 17th last year. So this has been on my TBR, like I said, for over a year. And I'm loving it. I think it's so freaking funny. I think this might be a potential 5-star. I'm having such a good time with this book. I think their banter is... It's not even their banter. I mean, it's so funny, but also the narrator's voice, the way that she makes the demon sound is so fucking funny. Like, she has, like, this... such a disdainful, like, British voice for him, and he's like, "The woods," or he's like, "I don't go there." Like, it's like his syllables are like really long, and it's just, I don't know, it's just hysterical. So basically, Marielle is like kind of like a failed witch according to her family, and her family basically just like makes her feel bad anytime she like talks to her mother or talks to her parents. Like, she's always trying to prove herself to her family that she can be a better witch, because honestly, like, I think she struggles with a lot of anxiety, and she has like two close girlfriends in this book, and I just love everything that this book is exploring and bringing to like a romance, because she just talked about, you know, how much that he turned her on because they had just kissed. And I love the way that she talked to her girlfriends about it, because they're like, did you get horny? Did you get this? Did you get that? And it's like, come on, like all girlfriends talk about that kind of stuff. And I feel like in some of the other romance books that I've read, obviously, like, you know, like Abby Jimenez or Emily Henry, you know, like I always feel like the main character is always like very isolated. Like they have like one best friend, but like they don't talk about this kind of stuff really. And I just think it's not like refreshing. It's just like such a relatable, real thing that, like, again, all girlfriends talk about with their friends. And it was just so fucking funny the way that they talked about him. I'm just having so much fun. So again, I think I'm gonna fly through this. I think it's only gonna take me maybe another 3 hours to finish, maybe even less time, because I'm hoping to read at least another 50 or 60 pages tonight. I'm definitely gonna get over page 200 soon, because I only have 2 more chapters, and then I'm basically just gonna fly through it, and then I'll just listen to some of the audiobook tomorrow. But I don't think I'm gonna pick up the second book right away, just because I feel like this is a series that I wouldn't like want to binge all the way through, because like I'm sure they're probably pretty formulaic. But I don't know. It might be it might be a little different because it's a demon's guide to wooing a witch. So I don't know if it's like maybe one of his friends that ends up wooing the witch in the second book, and maybe it's like her best friend's story. That would be really funny. But I don't think I'm going to read them back to back, just because I feel like this is a series again that I would need like a break in between. But like I said, I really want to put the second book on my April TBR, because but I didn't think I was going to get to this book anytime soon this month, and then I was like, no, I need to pick this book up. I felt like I was so in the mood for this, and I'm so happy that I did, because like I said, if I don't choose mood reads in the beginning of the month, sometimes it just like makes me not want to read, and this makes me want to binge this book so much and makes me want to read so much that I'm so glad that I picked this book up, because again, I just want easy reads right now, because again, like, I mean, it's not like I don't have reading time, but sometimes like you just get overwhelmed on having the time, and I also get like anxiety just making the time. But also, like I said, these 24-hour reading challenges are really helpful, and I didn't think that they would help me read as much as I do during these, because I always thought I was going to be worrying about the timer. But honestly, like I said, it makes you not even look at your phone, because it's like, oh, you set the timer and then you don't want to look at it, because like I don't want to see it like counting down, because that would be distracting. So I just turn it on, put it down on my bed like without the screen, and then I just read. And it's like, it's so much easier to focus on reading when you set a timer. So maybe I do want to do a reading sprint with Allie at some point too, because we haven't done one really in a while. I'll probably be reading the thriller book that I'm reading. I'll see if I have time though. The only day I would have had time to do it with her is today, or possibly Thursday, but it's fine. We got a lot of reading done today, and only in 3 hours, so that's crazy. But I just wanted to say, like, if you've been wanting to get a fun, fucking hilarious romance, I think this is your guy, because like I feel like I mean, I love emotional romances, but sometimes I just want something that's going to really make me laugh, and like a fluffy romance, and this is exactly what this is. And sometimes they're just so much fun to read about. So, yeah, I love this. So, I'm going to continue reading, and I will check back in with you guys probably tomorrow. This is going to be the last check-in that I make today. I mean, this is only my second one, so probably be like at 19 hours or something tomorrow afternoon. Because I'm probably only going to read for like maybe an hour and a half tonight. We'll see. Because I do want to watch the episode of White Lotus that I wasn't able to watch last night because we were watching the Oscars. So, but so far, I think this is hysterical. Oh, there was another part that I took a picture of another quote because I literally just can't stop laughing at this book. Or maybe it's a little inappropriate, but... Oh, yeah, they're, like, really blunt about talking about, like, sex and, you know, all of that. It's just so funny. There's, like, this one line that I have to talk about. So this is, like, at her mom's, like, family dinner. And she brings, you know, Oz with her because they're fake dating. So, he has to go meet her parents. And what's so funny is that they put him in a hat. And, like, the parent, because he has horns, obviously, because he's a demon, and the parents are like, it's very rude to wear a hat at the table. And then his response was literally so fucking hysterical. He's like, I have a condition. And they're like, what kind of condition? They're like, and he's like, oh, the spell forbids me from talking about it. And her inner narration was so fucking funny. She's like, what a clever demon. And then they asked him about it again. He's like, I am forbidden to talk about it. Because obviously he didn't want to take the hat off and show them their horns because they don't know he's a fucking demon. So it's just so funny. So basically, this quote is so blunt. So Oz said, you know, basically, like, there's like things going wrong in their forest because, like, there's kind of like an imbalance right now of magic, and it's probably because he's been summoned, because, like, the demons, like, actually, like, maintain a lot of, like, magic on Earth, like the nature magic, and some of the witches' magic too. I mean, some of the magic of nature. I mean, not nature magic. What the fuck? So that might be contributing, but we haven't found out, like, why things are imbalanced yet. But I just love that plot. It just has such a good plot. It's so good. So it says, so she, like, fainted in the woods because she got bitten by something that was infected, and he, like, you know, saved her or something like that. And he's like, more like an aborted CPR attempt, because I think they were talking about, like, when they kissed or something. No, hold on. So, like, there's, like, an interviewer there at the dinner, interviewing, like, her family, because her family's, like, a big family, like, in society. They're, like, really rich and whatever. So the interviewer is like, are you being a good boyfriend? And she said, Marielle, the main character, she was like, he saw a fire salamander today, and he carried me to safety when I fainted in the forest. And then the interviewer is like, oh, that's so romantic. Did he wake you with a kiss? And she's like, more like an aborted CPR attempt. And then the mother's like, you fainted. Why? You don't feel feverish. And then Oz was like, she was practicing spellcraft and used too much magic. And then her mother says, I've been there, dear, all part of the learning process. I've never seen her so dedicated to her craft. It's amazing how motivating good dick can be. Isn't that right, darling? At the family dinner, in front of an interviewer? And then the father's like, whatever you say, dear. And then, like, the interviewer's like, this is great. Did you know the mother hyena is the dominant one? Because the mother is like, why is she saying such inappropriate shit and nobody calls her out on anything? Oh my god, it's such fucking funny shit. And this is pretty, what's funny is that it's not that spicy yet, but they talk about really spicy things, and that's what's making me laugh so much. So yeah, I'm gonna shut up now because I'm, like, just rambling. So yeah, bye. I'm just loving it. So bye. Okay, so hey guys, I wanted to do my first check-in today on where I'm at in the timer in this 24-hour challenge. So I'm on 17 hours and 57 minutes and 24 seconds. And I wanted to let you guys know that I already finished my first book, which was A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. So we finished this in pretty much exactly 6 hours. I just, like, had the timer running for another 3 minutes. So, My life. I swear to God, my life. But anyway, I freaking loved this, you guys. This was a 5 stars. This was my first 5-star this month. And it was just the most unexpected 5-star that I probably have read, like, maybe all year. Because, as you guys know, I was just putting off this book for so long, and I really don't know why. I loved this. I thought it was so good. The spice was spicing. The romance was so good between Marielle and Ozroth. I just ate it up. I also, like I said, I loved the female friendship in this. I also really loved that they had their own separate plots and their own separate stories. Like, it's just, I don't know. This was just so much fun. It was, like I said, it was so fucking funny. I actually ended up finishing it in audiobook form because I read almost, how much did I read today? I read maybe 80 pages before I went out, so I still read 80 pages physically. I read 30 to 40 pages, and then I read another maybe 20, and then I came home and read maybe another 10. So maybe, yeah, 80 pages. So, and then I just listened to the rest of it on my Libby app, so now I can actually return the audiobook to my library. So I can return this. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's awesome that I'm able to return that. But anyway, I just loved it. I thought it was just so much fun. It was so good. This was literally the perfect mood read to start the month with, and I'm so happy that I put this book on my TBR this month. So I automatically added the second book to my TBR cart because I was like, I'm so happy that I finally got to these, because even though I think this is the highest rated in the series, but, like I said, I feel like this is a series that I wouldn't want to read, back to back to back, because I'm sure, it gets formulaic, but it might be just, a completely different story, because it is called A Witch's Guide, no, a Demon's Guide to Wooing a Witch. So I don't know if it's just the same plot line, but just reversed with her best friend, because it does take place with her best friend. Like I said, it's probably going to be her best friend, and it is. How many times can I say best friend? But yeah, I just adored this. If you're looking for a fun, fluffy romance, this is the one. And it wasn't even insta-lovey. Even though they did fall in love in a few days, it's because he was a demon and she was a witch. And demons, I feel like they were not fated mates, but I felt like they already knew, he always detected this aura and this her desire around him, that he pretty much knew how he had felt about her. And I liked that he said it first, and then she wasn't sure, and then she was like, no, I've just never felt like this about anyone before. And I don't know, it was just so fucking adorable. I adored this, and I thought it was just so much fun. So I'm so happy that we found a 5-star, because I don't think I had a 5-star romance since Promise Me Sunshine, so I don't care. It was just the perfect mood read, and I loved it. I was just giggling and laughing the entire time I was reading this, and I had such a good time. So I don't care if nobody else thinks it's a 5-star, because I freaking adored it. So now we are going to be starting the second book in this video. I was so torn as to whether or not I wanted to start You Killed Me First by John Mars or this book, but the point of these videos is to get through my physical TBR, not to read a Kindle read, because I could read You Killed Me First by John Mars on my Kindle app, because it's on Kindle Unlimited, and also the audiobook is available, but I might just listen to the audiobook then. But I have such a long audiobook TBR now, because I have 3 I'm borrowing from the library. I'm 70% into the Rom-Commers by Catherine Center, though. I'll definitely finish that either tomorrow or Thursday, so at least I will finish my 5th Catherine Center book now. But I also borrowed Swordcatcher from Cassandra Clare, because the second book, called The Ragpicker King, I got with my Audible credit So I want to listen to both of those. So I have Swordcatcher on Libby. And then also my other hold came in of the third book in the Thursday Murder Club series by Richard Osman called The Bullet That Missed. So I want to listen to all of those this month. So I don't know if I'm going to get to You Killed Me First, but also I kind of want a thriller read on audio because I did just listen to Beautiful Ugly. So I don't know, but also, like, I really do enjoy John Mars's audiobook narrators from the one book that I did listen to from him, and I read some of it physically, so I might do that because it is a new release. But then also the Ragpicker King, and what was the other one? I did just pick up another new release today, because me and my friend did go book shopping, but I only picked up one new release, and like I said, I was going to pick up Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone, because I wanted to pick up the physical copy, because I had already was able to read the ARC read of that. So, but they all came out today, because like there was a ton of new releases that came out March 4th. Like everything was coming out March 4th this month. And I'm potentially thinking about reading that new release as well. It's Emily Wen Zhao's new book, and I did read her Song of Silver Flame Like Night duology last year, and I absolutely loved it. So this is like the first book in, I believe, a new series or duology. I'm not sure like how long it's gonna be, but it sounds like so good. What the hell is it called? I keep on forgetting the title. The Scorpion. It's called The Scorpion and the Night Blossom, but I wasn't really going to be reading any new releases in March, but honestly, it's only 3 new releases, and that's what I got. Actually, I got to 4 new releases in February, so I don't know if I might take off one book off my TBR, but honestly, I want to read all the other books on my TBR. So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I already finished 2 books, and it's only been not even 4 days of the month. So, sorry. Okay, sorry, my friend is texting me about Barnes & Noble. So, anyway, the next book we're going to be starting in this challenge is First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. I don't know if the audiobook is available for this as well, but honestly, I think I'm just going to read this physically because it's a thriller, so I should be able to get through this pretty quickly. And I've heard, like, very good things about this one. I've heard that this one's really, really good. So I've been wanting to get to this for a while, and I'm kind of in a thriller mood. And I know a thriller will just get me to read, so we'll see how much we read tonight. We're probably only going to read, like, maybe 60 to 70 pages. It's, like, 9:30 right now, and I still have to, like, take my makeup off and all that stuff. So, yeah, we'll see. I do have to get up earlier tomorrow because I have to see my boyfriend. It's just, like, annoying because then I don't have, like, reading time, but yeah, I should be able to finish this by like Thursday, so I should be able to binge a lot of it tomorrow night as well. But this got me in such a big reading mood. I swear to God, like, I'm so happy that I am sticking to what works for me because like I've said before, I always feel reading slumpy in the beginning of the month, and then I'm like, I always just pick up the book that I'm in the mood for. But these all were on my TBR. I was just like, I really want to read this. I need to stop putting it off. And I absolutely loved it. So now I'm like, well, we started off really strong. So yeah, I'll check in with you guys when I do start this. Or I might just check in tomorrow because I'm probably only going to read for like another hour tonight. So like, I feel like this challenge is going to like go on for days again, but we'll see. So yeah, bye. Okay, so hey guys, I wanted to give you guys a check-in on where I'm at in the timer. This is going to be the last check-in that I make probably until like tomorrow because this might be the only time I'm going to be able to make one today, but also like I could have waited till later, but I wanted to tell you guys where I'm at in the book that I'm reading right now. So I'm at 16 hours and 18 minutes. It's already day 3 of this challenge, and I've only done 8 hours of reading, which I typically do read about 3 to 4 hours a day. So it'll probably be a 5-day challenge again, like it was last time. I'm going to try and read a few more hours today, like maybe like up to 13 or 12, and then it should get a significant chunk of this read. So I'm reading First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. I told you guys I was going to start this last night. I got up to page like 60 last night, and then this morning I just read like 20 pages, so I'm up to page 80. So I'm on chapter 10, and so far this is a little slow. I'm a little bit bored. It's not bad. It's not bad writing. I just feel like this is not a thriller that is really going to be that memorable for me. But also, like, I'm not through the first 100 pages yet, but so far I am enjoying it enough to continue because I am intrigued by the story, but it's not creeping me out in any way. I feel like, again, the only author that has done that for me thriller-wise this year has been, sorry, get this out of here, is Alice Feeney. She's been my most, she's the author that I've been the most impressed by her thrillers, because she's the only one that's been able to creep me out with both of the thrillers that I've read from her. And Beautiful Ugly was such a perfect audiobook, and I absolutely loved that one. So I don't know about this. Like, I feel like thrillers are a struggle to find a 5-star this year. I mean, I am going to read Billy Summers probably next week because I really, really, really want to read that finally by Stephen King. That might be a 5-star thriller, but that might be the only one out of the thrillers that I have planned to read, which is really not too many. Like, I've gotten my thrillers list down pretty substantially that, like, I only own, like, maybe 3 more physically, which is Lucy Foley's The Hunting Party, Claire McIntosh's I See You. I've also not read from either of them, so I do want to at least try their books. I think I'm going to like Claire McIntosh more than Lucy Foley, though, because people say that Lucy Foley's not that great. But anyway, so basically this is about this woman named Evie Porter, and she's dating this guy named Ryan. And she just, like, is going to move in with him in his town. But she doesn't really tell him much about, like, where she lives, and she basically wants to sell, like, everything that she has in her apartment, and he keeps on asking her, like, why, or just, like, throw it out. And he's like, but why do you want to clean out everything? I want you to bring your stuff to me, you know, like, your home is my home and all of that. And she's always been very, you know, secretive with him and doesn't tell him everything because she's always lying. So also, like, the other neighbors in town and his friends start wondering about, like, you know, her background and where she came from and stuff like that. Because, you know, people are fucking nosy and they have to know everything about a person, especially a new person that moves in. So it's kind of, like, similar a little bit to, like, Desperate Housewives. I'm kind of getting those vibes from it. But also, Evie is a thief. Like, she has been stealing most of her life. But we are getting background information now, like, every few chapters of, like, other people's backstories, because you don't truly know, like, who she is. So she doesn't really have, like, a true identity. Like, they keep on giving you backgrounds of, like, different people, and you have to figure out, like, which one who she is, pretty much. And I think that's the twist that's going to be in this book, which it's good. I like it. It's intriguing, and I do want to find out who she really is. But at the same time, it's like, it's just not thrilling me in any way. It's just like, and this isn't really like an downable thriller for me. Like, usually when I'm reading a thriller, I can't put it down. So with this, I feel like I can very easily put it down because it's, like, kind of I feel like this is kind of a slow burn thriller again. But I feel like with Alice Feeney's slow burn thrillers, they're just like so much more intriguing because you get like so much background information and creepy. She just knows how to creep you out. So I don't know. We're going to continue with this, obviously. I should be able to finish this probably tomorrow mid-afternoon. I'm just going to read now. I'm going out with my boyfriend around like 2:15. I still have like an hour and a half until I have to leave. So I'm just going to continue reading, and then I'm going to read a bit tonight, obviously. So I should be able to get up to hopefully like 200 or so today, and then I'll just finish the last 100 pages tomorrow because like I think it's only 300 and something pages, and I would like to finish this mid-afternoon or possibly tomorrow night. The latest tomorrow night I'll be able to finish this. I hopefully will have some reading time when I get home later, but me and my mom might watch Wicked because Wicked is out finally for rent. I don't know how much it is though. I didn't check, so I'm not sure if we're going to watch it. But I did see it in theaters, so I would like to see it again, but I'll tell her like, you know, you should watch it. So anyway, but I haven't really watched much lately. I've just been trying to, you know, catch up with my TBR as usual. But since the last read that I read was such an unexpected hit for me, I knew I was gonna like it, but I didn't know I was gonna love it that much. So from going from a 5-star read to this, sometimes it just like doesn't encourage you to read that much. And I almost want to put this down and pick up one of the other books that I have in this 24-hour challenge, but it's fine. I'm already reading it and I'm intrigued enough to continue. But like the first 50 pages, I was really thinking about just DNFing it because I was bored. But then it picked up a little bit, so we will see. Because like I said, I need to start DNFing books this year if I'm not enjoying them. But I feel like so guilty about it. I'm way more inclined to DNF something on Kindle or an audiobook. Because I always know I can pick up the audiobook when I'm ready for it. Usually because like I'll get through it faster. Like the Crescent City series, I DNF'd that like 2 months ago. And I still have 6 hours left in the audiobook. In the first one. So we're going to pick that up later this year. I'm not picking up anytime soon. And I also couldn't remember what my credit was for, what my Audible credit was redeemed for December. And it was Crescent City, the first one. And then I bought the other two with, during the Black Friday sale, for Audible. So the other two books were only like $6 or $7 for me, which was so cheap. Because originally they're like $30. I don't understand. But I'm thinking about honestly dumping Audible because I have been borrowing so many audiobooks from the library for free. I have like 3 other audiobooks that I want to listen to. I'm almost done with the Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. I'm like over 75% into it, so I should finish that by like tomorrow. I also want to finish it before Gaga's new album comes out tomorrow night, because that's all I'm going to be doing at midnight tomorrow night is listening to the new album. So that's why hopefully I can finish. I'm definitely going to finish this before the album comes out. So at least I'll finish this book, and then we'll see when we pick up the next book. But I might not be doing any reading tomorrow night at 12 a.m. because I'm just going to be listening to the album, and I'm going to listen to it probably like 3 times through. So yeah, that's it. Bye for now. Okay, so hey there guys. So I just wanted to do one more check-in on this book because it's probably going to be the last check-in that I do until I finish it, because I'm pretty close to finishing this tomorrow. So after I read for like an hour tonight, but I've been going to bed like so late lately, so I'm trying to do like my stuff on my computer a bit earlier because I haven't really been sleeping that great. So, and like last night sucked, and yeah. So anyway, I'm at 13 hours and 42 minutes. So this is day 3 of this challenge. And I think I've read for almost 12 hours. Well, yeah, almost 12 hours total. So by tomorrow, I will have finished the second book. and I will probably be exactly at 12 hours. So I'll be exactly at the halfway point. So I should be able to finish the other two books tomorrow in this challenge because they're both under 300 pages. So this one's a bit over 300 pages. So I'm still reading First Lie Wins by Ashley Elson, but I'm up to page 202. And it actually got more interesting, and I'm a bit more intrigued about it. I mean, I'm like basically 60% of the way through. That's what Goodreads says. So yeah, I only have like 40% of it left. And I do think it really did pick up. But I'm still not like 100% like, oh my God, I can't wait to see what happens next. But there's definitely like more things that are happening. I feel like maybe things will really escalate within the last like 50 pages, but we only have like 138 pages left at this point. So, but there were a couple moments where I gasped, but there was nothing like that is scaring me, but it was like there were a couple things that were a bit shocking. So, yeah, but this is not that type of thriller. I actually like read some reviews last night because I was like, why is this not like freaking me out? But it's not supposed to, because it's more like a criminal heist thriller, which I haven't really read before, and I do think it's very well written. So basically, like, she is still with Ryan. What's her name? Evie. There's like some things that annoy me about the way that she conducts her jobs, because like at this point she shouldn't be making like some of the careless mistakes that she's making, but it's not like in like a really really dumb way. It's just more so like a careless kind of way. Like, she's not stupid by any means, and I'm glad that, like, you know, Ashley didn't at least make her like dumb, because like most of the time in like in thriller books, and from male and female authors, not just female authors, and I read this other review last night of another thriller book, and this person was like, it's annoying that that only female authors do this, when it's like male authors do this too. Okay, so basically she is struggling to keep her identity right now, and that's all I can really say, because like I kind of want some people to go into this like blindly, but basically like she's in jeopardy right now of being discovered of like who she really is. So, and she works for this dude named Mr. Smith, like she doesn't know his name. And she like really screwed something up, but she didn't know that she did, like, but there was like something like careless that she did, and that was kind of like probably the only thing that was a little dumb that she did. But other than that, they were kind of just like careless mistakes. So yeah, that's about it for now. So yeah, I should be able to finish it. So I'm gonna read probably for another like 45 minutes tonight, and then I will be at 13 hours. So I should finish this book pretty much like when we get to the halfway point, which is like 12 hours. So yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna go because I'm tired as fuck. I did wash my hair. So I think I am going to read Next of Kin after this, because I'm kind of on a roll right now. Even though I wasn't really in a romance mood right now. I mean, I was kind of more in a romantic-y kind of mood. But I'm going to save the romantic-y series that I really want to read next week, which is this Woven Kingdom, and I'm probably going to vlog that too. And I'm possibly going to read a new release. So I think I'm going to have a week of romantic/fantasy and read those. And then basically after I read those, like my TBR is like a bit less overwhelming. And then I can just concentrate on like the other 8 or 9 books that I have to read. And then we can read The Hunger Games finally because the new book is coming out. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey guys. So I wanted to let you guys know that I did finish First Lie Wins by Ashley Elson. I literally just finished it right now. And the timer says 11 hours and 4 minutes. So we should be able to get through 4 books in this video. And I'm actually really happy I picked like really short books for this because it was just super easy to read them, and I just went in the order of like the page length on how long each book is, and I started with the longest book and I'm ending with the shortest book. So I think that was a great way to do it. I think more people should do it that way because you end up reading a lot more. So yeah, I'm giving this a 3.75 out of 5 stars, but I rated it 3 stars on Goodreads. I still think it was really good the way that it ended, and I liked it enough. I definitely liked this more than She's Not Sorry, which is by Mary Kubica, and that was my thriller pick for the last 24-hour readathon that I did. I tend to read, well, I end up reading like, well, I didn't read a romantasy this time, but can I speak? I read more like a fluffy magical romance, so like fantasy romance kind of. I don't know what I'm saying, but like, you know, I still read like a fantasy romance, which was a demon's guide, Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon, and then I just finished this book. I read this book completely physically because I didn't have the audiobook for this, but I didn't really love the narrator anyway. But if I did want to get this book, the Libby Hold was just like a couple of weeks, and I didn't want to wait for that. I just wanted to finish the book within this challenge, and I liked it. It was good. I kind of guessed who was working for Mr. Smith at that point because she was always working for him. But then it turns out that somebody really close to her was also working for him, and she didn't know, but I kind of had figured it out already. I'm like, it's kind of easy for her to trust him a little bit too much. And with the profession that she's in, it's like really hard to trust people. So that's why she lies for a living. So she like keeps on taking on new identities. But it was good. I really liked it. I think she's a good writer. I think I will read her next thriller, which I believe is Alibi. Yeah, which comes out spring of 2026. So I'm surprised she doesn't have anything coming out this year because I believe that this came out, I think, in 2024, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure it did, but this was like such a hyped up, yeah, 2024. Such a hyped up thriller that I finally wanted to just read it, and it was one of Reese's book club picks, which I don't think I've really read any of the ones that she's picked, but I keep on eyeing this one in Target, so I'm glad it finally came out in paperback, so I was able to pick it up. But yeah, I don't feel like that strongly towards it, but if you were interested in reading it, I still think you're going to enjoy it. It's just not anything that I'm like, oh my god, I'm like obsessed with this, but it was good. Like, I still liked it a lot. So yeah. So the next book we're going to be reading in this challenge is Next of Kin by Hannah Bonham Young. Even though I did say I wasn't really in a romance mood, I think that this is going to be perfect for the next couple of days because this book is I think it's only 290 pages from what I thought, because I'm not counting the bonus chapters from the male's point of view. Oh no, this is a preview of the next book, so that's not even included. I believe it's only 290 pages, 291. And that's including the bonus epilogue. So without the bonus epilogue, it's only 280 pages. So I might include the bonus epilogue in the 24 hours, but I might not because like I usually don't. I'm just going to read like up to 280. So this book should take me like no time. And I think this is a good book for me to read in this, so that's great. So I'm excited to read this. This is going to be my 3rd book by the author. because I read Out on a Limb last October, and then I hadn't read anything from her until Out of the Woods, which was her new release in January. And that was the very last book that I read in January. So I'm actually excited to get to another book from her because it's been like over a month since I've read a book from her. And I've been seeing this book circulating on Goodreads quite a lot. A lot of people are reading it right now. So I'm like, I kind of want to at least, because this will be my third book from her. And then I only have one more book from her, which is Next to You. Which I don't know is going to be, because this is like pretty much my last romance pick for this month. I don't really have other romances planned. I was pretty much going to fill up the rest of the month with mostly fantasy books and some cozy fantasy. I have fantasy, which is King of Scars and Rule of Wolves. I have cozy fantasy, magical realism, which is TJ Klune's House of the Cerulean Sea. And then I have a romantasy, YA romantasy, which is This Woven Kingdom, and then The Hunger Games, and then finishing the Beartown trilogy. So I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to fit in another romance, because I also potentially want to read a new release as well. But if I read all these books, it's going to be a lot checked off of my physical TBR. So yeah, this will be great for me to read, because I did have this on my TBR for last month, but I wasn't able to get to it. So I was like, I'll just put it on my TBR for this month, and I felt like this would be a good pick. So, and like I said, this is absolutely perfect for this video. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not going to be doing any more reading right now. I'm probably just going to be listening to my audiobook. I've been listening to my audiobooks outside of this challenge. The only audiobook that I listened to with the book I was reading in this challenge was Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. But also I wasn't sure if my next romance pick, if I'm able to fit in another one this month, is going to be A Demon's Guide to Wooing a Witch, because I really want to continue the series. But I also have another ARC read to read as well, and I need to read that before April. So yeah, just a lot of books, but I'm glad we were able to finish this now, because I have to get ready to go out to see one of my friends, and then when I get home, I'm definitely going to start Next of Kin when I get home. But I don't know how much reading I'm going to be able to do tonight. I'm hopefully going to be reading for like an hour at least, so I can get that book started. But Gaga's album comes out at midnight, and I'm not going to be doing any more reading after the album comes out. I'm just going to be listening to that album like obsessively. So yeah. But I should be home before 11, so that's a good like hour of reading at least before the album drops. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go, bye, and I'll let you guys know when I start Next of Kin later, so bye. Okay, so hey guys, so I wanted to let you guys know where I'm at in the timer and where I'm at in the next book that I'm reading for this video. So I'm at 8 hours and 24 minutes and 16 seconds. I think maybe I've done like almost 3 hours of reading today, and I'm probably gonna do quite a bit more. I mean, I think I'm gonna finish this book today because it's, yeah, bye. As the power is gonna go out soon, or we think that the power might go out because, since it's been so much, I just decided to give you guys an update because my mom was asking me if I'm okay by myself, because I literally just ate like 2 hours ago, and my mom and my brother are going to get food right now, but I had McDonald's earlier, so like I wasn't really that hungry, but she said she would bring food home for me, so that was nice. So I'll just eat it as soon as it comes back, obviously, because I can't like pop it into the fridge or anything. So hold on one second. So since it's been so windy out, it's been like ridiculously windy the past couple of days. Like it rained like 2 days ago, and then it was just like ridiculously windy when it was raining, and then yesterday it was just windy the entire day. There was no rain, it was just windy as hell. And then today it's just been windy all day as well. I think it doesn't die down until like tomorrow. But I did leave the house earlier because I had a doctor's appointment, and then I also went to get food, and then I went to go to Target to return for Sly Wins, and for some reason the guy said I wasn't able to return it unless I had a receipt. And I'm like, this literally has never been the case, like, for anything that I take back to Target, especially if I'm returning it literally from like 2 weeks ago, because I'm like, it hasn't even been 30 days yet. It should be on my Apple Pay. And he's like, no. Like, I didn't really verbalize all of this, but I'm like, what do you mean? Like, it should be on my Apple Pay. So I'm going to have to find the receipt. It wasn't in any of my bags in my car. So anyway, sorry, I thought it was in my purse. So anyway, like I said, I was going to start Next of Kin by Hannah Bonham Young. I started reading it last night, and I only got like 25 pages in because I was listening to Gaga's album, and I'm pretty disappointed with the album, to be honest. I only listened to it about 3 times through without listening to Disease and Abracadabra again, because I've already heard those songs enough. I wanted to hear the new songs, and wasn't really... I mean, obviously it was going to be unexpected. Like, of course she's always going to transform and evolve and change her sound all the time because she's constantly evolving as an artist. And I totally get that. But for somebody that's been a fan for like forever, since since Just Dance, this is like the first album from her that I might actually get super bored, like, very, very quickly. So anyway, I don't know if they're bringing 2 cars. I have no idea. My brother said he had to leave before 6, so I'm like kind of confused, but whatever. And of course he has to verbalize it to me because I need to know, even though I was just going to stay home. Like, because if it was me, I wouldn't have went until like 6:30, but obviously that would have been too late. So anyway, so we are reading Next of Kin by Hannah Bonham Young, and I'm really far into this already. I think I only have 110 pages left, or like less than that. I'm on page 176, so I think I only have 95 pages left, actually. So I should be able to bang that out tonight and just read it within the next couple of hours. So I'm probably going to be done with this within the next 2 hours. So we will have enough time to finish one more book, because like I said, I was going to start a super short book, and that's going to be Expiration Dates by Rebecca Surley. So this is a pretty successful 24-hour reading vlog. But also, like I said, I just didn't really want to like read super long books the first week of March because, like I've told you guys before, I always feel a bit reading slumpy at the beginning of a month because I always get so overwhelmed with starting a new month. But actually, Expiration Dates and this book were perfect reads for this weekend because I'm not going to have as much reading time this weekend. But if I finish this today, then I can just read that tomorrow night. And then hopefully I'll be able to finish it Sunday night. If I wasn't working yesterday, I probably could bang that out in a day too. But Sunday night is my mom's birthday, and I have to work during the day, so I'm not going to have that much reading time when I get home. Probably like an hour before we go to dinner, because I guarantee we're probably going to go to Miko, which is like our favorite Japanese place. Why am I rambling? So anyway, so I'm reading Next of Kin, and it's about a girl named Chloe, and she has always like grown up in foster care because basically her mother was an alcoholic and a struggling drug addict, and basically, you know, it was really hard for her to stay sober. She would relapse a lot, and then she finally ended up getting sober for her, but then she ended up relapsing again. So she's never really been able to live with her mother. So her mother recently gets pregnant, and it turns out that Chloe is the only next of kin to be her mother's guardian. Her mother's baby's guardian, I mean, not her mother's guardian. So she has to take in the baby, but the thing is that the baby is born with, you know, a bunch of issues because her mother was an alcoholic. So it affects the baby's health greatly. So the baby has to be in the hospital for at least I think like almost 2 months after it's born, and then she's finally able to take it in and take it home with her. But she's only 24 years old, so she is a young mother, basically. But, sorry, my mom and my brother just left, so the dogs are barking. I'm just waiting for Looney Head to finish her food so I can give them their chews. I don't even know if my mom actually gave it to them yet. Let me go check on them. Hold on. So, anyway, in order for, what's her name? Chloe to be able to take in this baby, she also has to foster two other basically teenagers slash, well, I don't really understand why he's living with them, because basically what is his name? Okay. It says, enter Warren, a surly mechanic's apprentice attempting to get custody of his deaf 15-year-old brother. So his deaf 15-year-old brother is named Luke, and Warren is struggling to get custody of him because he is his older brother. And obviously they both don't really have parents, so they are now going to become the guardians of both of their younger siblings. That's pretty much what's happening. And he has to move in with her with his 15-year-old brother because she has to like prove to Child Protective Services that she's a good, guardian, because she's inheriting a newborn or like a 2-month-old. So basically, it's about the struggles of them living together and getting along and everything. And then obviously her and Warren develop a romance. So that's basically where I'm at in the book right now. But also she has adoptive parents that basically are like pretty snobby and haven't really like approved. Like they basically look down on her life choices because, she had a very unstable family dynamic. But I really like her as a main character, but before this, I was kind of like a little bit confused by like the family, by their relationship, because I kept on thinking that Warren was like a teenager as well, but he's not. He's the same age as Chloe. They're both 24 years old. I was like, okay, now it makes more sense, because before I was like, why the hell does she like him so much when it sounds like he's a teenager? So I don't know if I just kept on getting him and Luke mixed up, but there was like one point where it was Warren's birthday, and I'm pretty sure he was hanging out with teenagers at her house. The one thing that I actually don't really like about this book, because like most of it's good, but this book is not as good as Out on a Limb or Out of the Woods. But if I read Next to You later this month, then I will have read all of Hannah Bonham Young's books, besides her holiday novella. But honestly, like I'm probably not even going to read that until Christmas this year. So, but there's so many new releases coming out this year. It's like crazy, but her book, I think it just got announced like a couple of days ago that she's coming out with a new release in May as well. And I'm hoping by that point I'll be done with Hannah Bonham Young's backlist, because again, I only have one more book. And I'll also be all caught up with the A Witch's Guide to Dating a Demon series, because I want to read books 2 and 3 before May. And then also the When in Rome series, I did buy When in Rome, and I wanted to read that one because the only one I've read so far is Beg, Borrow, or Steal, and that is my first and only Sarah Adams book, but I would like to read that series as well. And then also, what's the other one that I have? Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood, because there is a sequel coming out in May as well to Not in Love. So yeah, just a lot of books, but if I get this one read, probably as a little palate cleanser, maybe like the first week of April, I might just read the second book and this, probably right after Say You'll Remember Me, because I know the only book that I'm going to want to read April 1st is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. Like, that's a given. I'm going to drop everything to read that book. So I'm trying to get as many books read this month that are on my TBR, but I'm doing pretty good. Like I said, I picked really short books for the beginning of the month, so hopefully I can work on the rest of my TBR for this month before the Sunrise on the Reaping comes out, because I still need to read the Hunger Games trilogy, but I wasn't going to read it until the end of the month. So anyway, we're going to keep on reading this, but like I said, I think I'm going to finish it within the next like 2 hours, like, because I'm going to read right now while my mom and my brother are out. And then I'm going to read some more if the power goes out. So hopefully I'm not sitting in the dark though, but I do have a book light, but my mom just like gave me the battery. She didn't realize that you have to unscrew it in order to put the battery in. I might just go do that right now, just in case the power does go out later. So yeah, bye for now, and I will let you guys know when I'm finished with the book. So bye. Oh, also, I ended up borrowing the audiobook from the library, so that's why I got a lot further in than I was. I mean, I was already up to page 90 by the time I had to go to my doctor's appointment, and then I just listened to a lot of it in the car, so that was another like almost 90 pages. So I figured I was going to be able to finish this today because, again, it's less than 300 pages. So, yeah, that's it. Bye. So, hey, guys, I wanted to make another check-in because I was able to finish the book that I was reading in pretty much a day. So we are at 6 hours and 41 minutes. This video has went on for, like, literally 5 days already. It's just been, like, a week of reading for me. I honestly should probably call this video what I realistically read in a week. But honestly, since I've picked all like shorter books this week, it was easier for me to get done to finish these books. So anyway, we finished Next of Kin by Hannah Bonham Young. I just finished it literally right now. And I'm glad I finally read it, so now I can check another book off of Hannah Bonham Young's list. So now I only have the second one left, which is Next to You. But I don't think I'm going to read it until next month. But I feel like I'm now going to be in the middle of like 3 romance series. And I read them all in 24-hour reading vlogs because I read Beg, Borrow, or Steal in my first 24-hour reading vlog ever. And then I read A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon in the beginning of this video. And that's the first book in the trilogy. And then I just read this one, which is the first book in a duology. So this was not her best. I'm giving this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I do agree with most of the reviews that I've seen of this book. Is that it does feel pretty insta-lovey. Sorry, give me a second. It does feel pretty insta-lovey, so I do have to agree about that. I also feel like they were kind of way too young to, like, fall in love this fast. I mean, they were living together for, like, a couple of months, but then, like, they went from, like, I had no problem with them saying I love you when they did. It was just like after that, they're like, you're the one for me. You're this. That's it. You're it. And then he proposes to her and then they get married already by the end of the book. And I'm like, they're 24 years old and they haven't even been together for like a year. I was like, I feel like that's pretty fast. But, you know, it's not unheard of. At least they lived together for a long time. And I actually thought like some of the smut scenes were really, really cringe, and I just didn't really like. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like her best book. I still think it was cute enough, but I actually felt a little bored at one point that I wanted to DNF it. But you guys know I'm not a DNFer of physical books that I own unless I really don't like either the book or the series. Like I DNF'd the series of Encyclopedia of Fairies. I DNF'd It Happened One Summer. I DNF'd that series because I couldn't even get through 100 pages of that. At least I finished the first book in Encyclopedia of Fairies. I don't know if I'm going to pick up, well, I probably will, because for some reason I have to read every single Ali Hazelwood book. But Ali Hazelwood also announced 2 new books this year, and the first one she announced is the second book in the Bride series. And you guys know I did not like Bride at all, but I still put Mate on my want to read list. But honestly, that name is so cringe to me, like I can't get over it. But anyway, so yeah, this was okay. This wasn't really her best book, you know, since Out on a Limb. Like, I really feel like Hannah Bonham Young is going to be the next author for me that I'm going to struggle to find another 5-star from her, because I haven't loved her books since on a Limb. I really loved Out of the Woods too, but it was not a 5-star for me, and then this one was a 3.5. So I feel like we're kind of going in the same direction as Catherine Center, because I felt this, I pretty much gave her books the same exact ratings with her first 3 books. Like, her first book, Hello Stranger, was a 5-star for me, and then Happiness for Beginners was a 4.25, and then What You Wish For was like a 3.25. It was rated even lower than this one because I did not like that book as much as I did enjoy the characters in this one more so than What You Wish For. Just Duncan really pissed me off. He was so mean to the female main character, so that's why that book didn't get any higher for me. But yeah, this was not her best, and I kind of agree with other people saying that it's not her best, but at least we got it off the list. I did put this on a couple of months TBRs, and we finally got to it, so that's good. I don't know when I'm going to be reading the second book, but I'm not going to be picking it up anytime soon, but I am going to be reading it before her new release comes out, because I think I said this before, but she just announced a new release like a couple of days ago that comes out in May, and then also Not in Love 2 comes out in May by Ali Hazelwood, so I have to read Not in Love before that. And then once I read Not in Love, I'll only have one more book from Ali Hazelwood that I need to read, along with Hannah Bonham Young, which I only have the second book in this, but it doesn't really make me want to pick this up at all right now. I really don't want to. But we finished this in like 5 hours, or like 5 hours and 20 minutes. So, and that's pretty much what the audiobook says on 2 times the speed, is basically like, well, I think it's 7 hours actually. It's only a 7-hour audiobook, but I think on 2 times the speed, I think it's only like 5.5 hours, because it's only a 290-page book. I did include reading the bonus epilogue in this because it wasn't bonus content. It was part of the actual book, but it was from Warren's perspective. It was just, there were some cute moments about it, but honestly, like, when it hit page 200, I was like kind of bored, and all they were doing was pretty much having sex after they said I love you to each other. So yeah, it was okay. It wasn't her best. I'm not really going to explain anything else because that's going to spoil it. So now we are going to go into Rebecca Surley's expiration dates. I find that, well, even though Ashley Elston was not the best book in this video, but I did enjoy it a bit more than this one. I find that if I pick up like a new author's book, then I tend to possibly rate them higher than like an author that like even though, like, you know, I've read 2 other books from her already, I tend to rate her books pretty highly. But I'm really excited to read this. So we're going to read Expiration Dates by Rebecca Surley next. But I feel like this book is only going to take us probably like 4 hours or 4.5 hours. Like, I think I'm definitely going to finish this under the 6 hours that I have left. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to start after that. I didn't want to wait to read this until like later on, around like the 2-hour mark, because honestly that's like the shortest book that I own physically. So that's why I wanted to read it now, but I'm kind of struggling as to what I'm going to go into after this, because honestly, both the books that I was planning on reading after this are both going to be filmed for 2 other reading vlogs, because one is an arc that I want to include in, well, I've already been including it in my ARC read vlog. And I started it like a few weeks back, which is A Drop of Corruption. I really wanted to read that next after I finished Expiration Dates, because I do need to finish that book and I wanted to read it earlier in the month. And I kind of want to read a Kindle read after this, so that would be perfect. And then I wanted to go into this Woven Kingdom, so I'm not sure like what I'm going to end up reading. I might just include like an hour and a half of reading A Drop of Corruption in this vlog, and then just, you know, continue reading it obviously in my ARC reading vlog, because I honestly don't want to pick up anything else and it's kind of stressing me out if I had to. The only other book I was thinking about picking up, it does sound really interesting, and I kind of want like a whole week of fantasy after this, because honestly I haven't read a fantasy book this month yet, so I'm probably going to just do a week of fantasy / romantasy, and that was going to be this Woven Kingdom. And then I really wanted to read this book as well, and A Drop of Corruption, and that is The Scorpion and the Night Blossom by Amelie Wenzhou. So I might potentially start this in this reading vlog, because I really enjoy Amelie Wenzhou's writing. I read the Song of Silver Flame Like Night duology back in August, and those were like some of my favorite books that I read in my birthday month. They were fantastic, heartbreaking, but fantastic. But this is her newest release, and it just sounded so fucking good. It is a romantasy, so I'm probably just going to do a week of romantasy, and I was really, really intrigued to pick up this book. So I don't know, I'm really, really torn. And also, like I said, I didn't mention this in my TBR video for my March TBR, because one, like I said, I wasn't going to read any new releases, but I'm kind of really intrigued to read this one. And this would be like the only March new release that I read besides listening to John Mars's You Killed Me First. But I could also just include that in my 24-hour reading vlog and just start that. But I'm not really in a thriller mood right now. I'm really wanting to read romantasy, so I might just include this in my week of romantasy and just read those books, because after we finish this Woven Kingdom, we will have finished quite a bit of my TBR this month. But if I read this book, then I'm going to have to eliminate a duology from my TBR, because I have 2 duologies on my TBR, and I don't think I'm going to be able to read both of them. And one of them we've already pushed off 2 months, and the other one we pushed off from last month. So yeah, so after the 15th, we're only going to have 16 days, and that week is going to be devoted to TJ Klune, Stephen King, and the 2 Frederick Bachman books. So probably not going to be reading King of Scars and Rule of Wolves. And then after that, it's just going to be the Hunger Games trilogy, because I have to read that before Sunrise on the Reaping comes out, and I have to read those anyway. So I think it is going to be this book. And I have to read A Drop of Corruption too. Whatever. This is going to be a mood read, and we're going to read it, okay? And then we're going to read A Drop of Corruption, and then we're going to do this Woven Kingdom. I need to stop stressing out. These are the books that I want to read. I think it's going to be great, and that's all that matters. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to check in when I'm like probably halfway through Expiration Dates, so I don't bore your asses off with rambling so much in this video. I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm going to go because I need to go to bed. So bye. So hey guys, I wanted to give you guys an update on where I'm at in the timer. Honestly, I should just call this reading my March TBR at this point, because again, this video has went on for like almost a week, and I just want to say I'm sorry, but I'm still reading for 24 hours, so I guess it doesn't really matter how long it goes, just as long as you complete the 24 hours. But it's crazy how you can actually tell how much time 24 hours actually is when you actually do these challenges. It's like, that's how much I typically read in a week, and it literally, the end of the week is tomorrow, and I'm still going to be doing this challenge because I'm going to have like maybe 2 hours left in the challenge. But anyway, I'm at 3 hours and 40 minutes. And basically, I'm going to finish this book within the next like probably half hour or so, because I'm on page 217 of Expiration Dates by Rebecca Surley. And honestly, this book is so good. And I think that this is going to be my book that I recommend to people who are in a reading slump. Because like I said, this book is only 254 pages. And I feel like I've gotten so much story in this that I kind of wish it was a little longer. But also I feel like it's intentionally short because life is short, and it's not just the expiration dates of the relationships that she has, but it's also like realizing your own mortality. Since life is short, everybody has an expiration date. So I think that's why this book is intentionally short, and I just realized that right now. I'm like, that's probably why she made this book so short. But honestly, I think that this book is so good. I really love her writing. I think that there's some really good quotes in here. It flows so well. And I've just been having a really good time with this one. So this was definitely probably my second favorite book besides A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon in this video. So I'm really, really enjoying this one, and I'm really excited to finish it. I think I'm going to finish it again within the next like half hour. I only have like 35 pages left, so, or like 38 pages or something. I was going to do a puzzle with my mom, but I'm just so tired. And I actually, like I said, I'm not going to have that much reading time tomorrow. I probably will Monday and Tuesday because I don't really have any set plans then. And my shift was cut for tomorrow, which I don't understand because that was literally the only shift I was working. So I thought that I was going to have to work, and then we were going out for my mom's birthday tomorrow night, excuse me. So yeah, anyway, this book is just so much fun, and it really just, makes you realize like how fragile your life is. But basically it has like a new, it gives you like a new perspective on like relationships in your life. It's not just like the relationships that she's in with her boyfriends, because she always knows when it's going to end. It's also like, you know, her friendships in her life, that basically the only people that are constant in her life are her parents, but that's because she actually has a health condition. Her parents don't know about her slips of paper that she gets, and they always, you know, are trying to find her a man that like lasts longer in her life, because she's always breaking up with somebody, or somebody's always breaking up with her, and the mother's always like, you know, who is he? How long have you guys been together? You know, like, which is always like a typical kind of pressure that especially mothers put on daughters, is how long have you been in a relationship, or when are you going to find a guy, and all of that. And I honestly hate that. It's like, why do women have to be with a man in order to be happy? If a guy doesn't find a girl, it doesn't really matter, but like a girl can only be happy if they have a man with kids. So yeah, anyway, this is just so much fun. I'm really enjoying it. And like I said, it's such a super fast, quick, easy read that I will just recommend this to anyone who is in a book slump. So yeah, I think that this is great, and I'm just going to finish it up, and I will let you guys know when I finish it. I'm not gonna ramble on too much because this is literally like the only check-in that I'm making for this book. And then I guess I could have saved this book for later, but we probably wouldn't have finished it in this video. But like I said, this book was so perfect to binge in a day. And then I also binged Next of Kin yesterday, but this is way better than Next of Kin, to be honest. I'm really, really liking this one. Basically, like, you know, she is now in the position where she has been with this guy longer. Their expiration date is approaching, but he really loves her. But like, her best friend in her life is Hugo, and he was somebody that she only dated for 3 months, and then she told him that our time is up, but that was the only time that she told one of her boyfriends that their time is up, when usually like I guess with the other guys that she was with, they broke up with her, or they like gave her a reason on why they should break up, like not really necessarily verbalizing it. But yeah, it's just, so she's at that point right now, but Hugo has always been like a constant in her life, and I think she's going to end up with him. But we'll see if she ends up with Hugo or she ends up with the guy. But it's not really like a love triangle. It's just like, since Hugo couldn't, their relationship couldn't really last, you're wondering whether or not they're actually going to be together. So yeah, so far I'm loving it. I'm literally so close to the end. So yeah, I'm just going to finish it now. So bye. Okay, so hey guys, so I just wanted to give you guys another update on where I'm at in the timer. It's not going to be that much further because I'm at 3 hours and 7 minutes still. So we still have a good 3 hours left. But I wanted to let you guys know that I did finish Expiration Dates by Rebecca Surley. I finished this in like 3 hours, and I was at 6 hours and 40 minutes before. So I finished this in 3 hours and like 30 minutes or something, or 3 hours and almost, maybe almost 4 hours. Maybe it was 3 hours and 50 minutes. But honestly, it took me like no time because, like I said, this book is so short. But this made me cry. This was really good. I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I knew it was going to be good, but she was also a new author to me. Like I said, I've actually read a ton of new authors to me. Well, I've read 3 new authors to me so far this month. Because I've read from Margie Fuston before, obviously, because I read the first book in the Revenant Games duology. And what else did I read? I've read from Catherine Center before, and then the rest of the 4 books that I've read this month have all been in this video. And they are, well, 3 authors, yeah, I haven't read from before. So, yeah, this was really, really good. I liked this way more than the last 2 books that I read. I was hoping to find something that I was going to enjoy more than like a 3 or a 3.75 or something like that. And I feel like just this book came along at the perfect time because like I've said before, like you don't always feel like reading, or sometimes you just don't want to force yourself to read. You just want to enjoy reading. But honestly, like I said, I would recommend this book to anyone who is in a book slump. It's only 254 pages, and I feel like you get such a complete story out of the 2 main characters in this book, especially Daphne. I really, really connected with her character because she is the main character who receives these slips of paper basically saying that this is the amount of time that you're going to be with this person. She's obviously straight, so the amount of time that she's going to be with a guy. And it could say something like, you know, like 1 day for like a one night stand, all the way up to like 3 or 4 years. But like she can never really like fully commit to somebody because she always knows there's going to be an end date on when they're not together anymore. So the only thing that I wish was a little bit more explained in this was why she was receiving these papers, like why her. But like she kind of touched on it, saying like, you know, I'm the special one in the universe, but like she wasn't saying it like she was full of herself, because obviously like it's kind of a very, even though you're like with people, it's still like a very lonely existence because you don't know who you're gonna be with. And this like really, this was almost a 5 star, and it just really made me think, you know. But I think a 4.5 is very, very high. I'm almost thinking I'm going to change it to a 4.75, possibly even a 5 star, because like this was just, this was so good. I don't know, should I change this to a 5 star? Honestly, this was a really, one of the most unique books I've ever read, to be honest. I thought it was such an interesting, unique concept. And again, it just like, well, I don't remember what I was going to say. Kind of just, you know, really just, Oh my God, I forgot what I was going to say. Hold on. This is what I was going to say, is that basically, you know, you don't want to live with a life without love. And even though you know when something is going to come to fruition and end, you know, with us in life, it's like the uncertainty of things for us sometimes that makes the journey worth it for us, like the journey of going through life. And I really think it hit hard with that subject matter. And also the part that made me cry was her dad telling her about like the person that she wanted to marry. She ended up realizing was not the person she wanted to be with. But her dad like gives her like this whole monologue of saying like, you know, I love you so much. And like basically it's what, you know, every daughter wants to hear from their dad, like, is that unconditional love. And that just really, really hit home for me and really made me cry. So that was like really, really sweet. And let me see if I can find it. It was just such a beautiful passage. And just like the way that she writes, it's just so simple. It kind of reminds me almost of like Frederick Bachman's kind of writing, even though like Frederick Bachman, you know, he really, really hits hard with his writing. And like I said, like I highlighted literally like everything in Beartown, and I still need to read the second and third books, and I really do want to read those this month. It says, I think about you all the time. This is her dad talking to her. Most of the moments of my day, in fact, even when I'm doing something at the market or on a run, I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about how much I want you to be well. I'd give anything to fix it so that you could be. I pray for it every night. I have for 13 years. If you knew the bargains I have tried to make with the universe. His voice breaks and his eyes fill up. He shakes his head. There isn't a day that goes by that I do not wish it was me. Hell, they made a mistake, Daphne. It should have been. Like, so beautiful. And then he says, that's what we do for our children. We wish it were us. And then he says, but the thing is, Daphne, no one's time is promised. Not yours, not Mom's, not mine, not Jake's. It's just the way it is. We are all dying every day. And at some point, it becomes a choice. Which one are you going to do today? Are you living or are you dying? Like, beautiful, right? Oh, God. It's such a beautiful, beautiful passage. And then he says, and honey, all I wish for you, for any of us, is to do the living one. To do it to the fullest for as long as it lasts. That part just, like, wrecked me. So, it's just really, really good. I really enjoyed this a lot. There wasn't anything that I wasn't... You know what? I think I am going to change this to a 5-star. This was exceptional. This was really fantastic. And I really don't have any... There was like one part where I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, wait, he kind of did it for all of... Well, maybe that was the one part that I was like, maybe it's not a 5-star. I don't know. I'm so conflicted. I think I'm going to do a 4.75. 4.75. I think that's pretty high. Yeah. I think that's a really high rating. Yeah. Let's make it a 4.75 because that part did annoy me. So if you guys know, because I feel like this guy should have been honest with her, and there was like one thing that she lied to her about, and I didn't really love that. But this was so good. So anyway, I'm gonna shut up. So since we still have 3 hours left on the timer, don't think we're gonna finish another book, but we're definitely gonna be starting another book in this video. And like I said, it's gonna be Emily Wenzel's The Scorpion and the Night Blossom. I'm just in such, like I said, I'm in such a romantic fantasy mood this week, because like I said, I haven't really read any fantasy lately, and this is Emily Wenzel's new release. Look at how beautiful these sprayed edges are. Like, are you joking? And I haven't read anything from her since the Song of Silver Flame, like Night duology, and that wrecked me. So I have a feeling this is probably gonna hurt my soul. But I've seen mixed reviews about this one. But honestly, like, I love Emily Wenzel's writing. It's just so beautiful. So yeah, and I wish I would have talked about this one in my TBR video, but I didn't want to make yet another clip for like one book. I should have just set all those clips together. I mean, set all those books in one clip after I made the TBR video, and just, I don't know why I didn't do that, but it is what it is. We're talking about it in this video, so that's all that matters. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to read this. And yeah, I'll just update you guys basically probably when the timer is done, because like I said, I'm not going to be finishing this book in this video. But I will tell you guys how far I get into it and what my thoughts are. I'm probably going to get at least 100 pages into it before the timer goes out. I should be able to read 100 pages in 3 hours. Yeah, the font is humongous. So yeah, that's it. Good night. Okay, so hey guys, I wanted to do my last check-in with the timer on the last book that I'm reading in this video. So I'm at an hour and 20 minutes now. So we're almost at the end, you guys, and this literally took me almost a full week to complete this challenge. But we were finishing books in a day. So we finished Next of Kin in a day, and we finished Expiration Dates in a day because they were both under 300 pages. So like I said, I was telling you guys that I wanted to start Emily Wenzel's The Scorpion and the Night Blossom. I obviously am not going to have enough time to finish this in this video, but I'm going to read as much as I can. Right now, I'm on page 106, so I did get through the first 100 pages, like I told you guys, and I read it all physically with Next of Kin and Expiration Dates. I did borrow the audiobook from the library, so I did listen to it if I had to drive somewhere or if I was putting my makeup on. But this, I actually got my Spotify listening hours back. I think I might have gotten them back right now because the audiobook was not available from the library because this is a new release. And sometimes the library doesn't get every new release right away. But let me see. Yes, I did get them back. So now I can listen to this when I'm like driving and stuff. I mean, I'm not going to be doing that much tomorrow, but I do want to go to the library and binge as much of this as I can. Because so far, this has been so bingeable. It's just been, I just really like Emily Wenzel's writing. It's fast-paced. It's easy to get into. It's not confusing. This book is less than 400 pages. So it's a very fast-paced. I really enjoy her writing. I've been seeing a lot of mixed reviews on this book, but for me, I think that she is just a very easy, fast-paced author for me to read. I'm not really feeling the romantic element in this, though, but I think that Emily Wenzel is really, really good at writing fantasy, but I don't feel the chemistry as much between the two characters in this, but I really like the main character's backstory. And it's also feeling a little bit repetitive of Song of Silver and Flame Like Night, but I do think that this is unique enough because, like I said, there are, I don't know why my watch just vibrated. I don't know why I'm like this when I was looking at my watch. But there are trials in this, and I don't think I've read like a trials romantasy in quite a while. I don't think I've really read any this year. So this was just exciting. This was just a straight up mood read, but also, like I said, I wanted to fit in at least one new release this month physically besides Sunrise on the Reaping. And then, like I said, I was able to already read Promise Me Sunshine in the middle of February. But literally there were so many books that came out on March 4th, and this was one of them. And so far I am really enjoying it. I did have quite a lot to do today, but I still got through the first 100 pages, and I'm just going to tell you guys, daylight savings fucked me up, okay? So yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. That's all my thoughts, but I just wanted to say, I did get quite a bit of reading time this morning, because I knew I was going to be out or I was not going to have as much reading time because I thought I was going to spend a lot of the day with my mom because it was my mom's 75th birthday today. So I knew I was going to be spending a lot of the day with her. But also, I actually went to brunch with my coworkers this morning. Actually, two of them don't work at my job anymore, and one of them still does. But we've been wanting to do brunch for a while, and we finally did it today because I messaged them yesterday because I think I told you guys that I was supposed to work today from 10 to 4, and then I was just going to come home and, get ready to go to dinner with my family for my mom's birthday. But I ended up not working, and I didn't even know I wasn't working until like 5 o'clock yesterday after my coworker that was going to brunch when we were gonna go to brunch together, I told her I can't because I was supposed to open, but then I messaged the group message like an hour later, and I'm like, oh, turns out I'm not working, so we can do brunch. And then we all were able to do it. So we went to Cheesecake Factory. And if you guys didn't know this about me, I used to work at Cheesecake Factory. I worked there for about a year. Didn't have the greatest experience with them. The first few months was great, but I'm not going to go on a tangent. But I just wanted to say, like, I don't really eat there anymore. But if you guys have tried Cheesecake's brunch on Saturdays and Sundays, it's so good. It used to be just Sundays, but they expanded it from Saturday to Sunday, I think because it's so dang popular. And honestly, I think it's the best thing that Cheesecake has now. Because, like, after I was working there for a while, I kind of got really sick of the food after I stopped working there. I don't know what it is about when you work there, you just want to eat the food all the time, probably just because you're smelling it all the time. But when you stop working there, you like literally never want to eat it again. But with Panera, I eat it way more often than I do Cheesecake Factory, but I always order like the same thing. But anyway, so we went there for brunch, and it was really, really fun. But I thought when they had gotten there, I thought it was an hour earlier because my ass did not set my alarm, my regular clock on my desk. I didn't set it for an hour ahead. So I was functioning at an hour behind because when I woke up this morning, my clock said 10 a.m. So I was like, oh, I have an extra hour so I can read. And I was like, why does my phone keep on saying 11 when my clock says 10? Because I set my alarm for 11 a.m. and it's still... Actually, it didn't go off. No, it didn't go off. It went off on my phone. If my alarm didn't go off on my phone, I probably wouldn't have gotten out of bed to get ready. So I was like, haha, never mind. It's actually... So it wasn't like I woke up at 12. I thought I did still wake up at 11 because my alarm went off at 11 a.m. and that would have been enough time for me to get ready. But then I was like, wait, you guys are early because they're like, we're here already. And I was like, wait, you guys are early because I was about to get ready at technically, I think it was it 11:45? Because I went back into bed to read and it was 11:45, and then I was going to sit my ass down and do my makeup at 11:55. And then they had texted, like not even 10 minutes later, that they were there. And I was like, wait, you guys are early. I was like, it's daylight savings time. I'm like, wait, what? So I ended up showing up at 12:30 my time when it was actually, well, I showed up a little bit before 1:30. I got there at like 1:25 technically, but my ass thought it was 12:25. So when did I arrive at Cheesecake? But I thought, but hadn't even went to sleep early enough because I'm an idiot. But my mom's like, you shouldn't go to sleep too late because, it's daylight savings. But I went to bed at fucking 4 a.m. I got to Cheesecake at 1:23, so I got there almost an hour later when I thought I had only gotten there like a half hour after they were there. But apparently Aaliyah and Sarah were there, were already there. Actually, both of them didn't even get there until 12. Yeah, they got there at 12:45. So they both got there exactly on time. And my ass was just sitting down to get ready at 11:40. So I was trying to get ready at like 11:50. But I got ready in like less than a half hour. And then I left. So But we still ended up staying at Cheesecake for like an hour and a half. And then my ass showed up at 1:20 when the original time we were supposed to go to brunch was 1. But then we changed it to 12:45. But then I was the only one that was thrown off by by daylight savings. So whatever. It ended up happening. It was so good. And then my mom met me at the mall after we left brunch because my mall is, there's a cheesecake factory there. So we just went to the cheesecake factory there. And then my mom met me and we went shopping for her birthday. And then we came home and I didn't even realize it was like 4:40 already because my ass was still thinking it was like 3:30. And then I didn't realize that we were at the mall for like an hour and a half. And then my mom was like, I'm getting tired. And I was like, okay. Because like, I thought it was still like 3:45. I'm like, no, it was like almost 4:45 by the time we left the mall. So now I actually have to set the timer. But anyway, I just wanted to say that I thought I had like, but at least I had an extra hour of reading time this morning because I need to talk a little bit lower because my mom is going to bed now, but at least I had an extra hour of reading time because I didn't realize that I got up an hour later when I was supposed to get up at 11. Well, even though I still got up at 11, I sat back in bed because I thought it was 10 a.m. I thought that which I don't even know why I didn't make that connection. Because my alarm went off on my phone at 11, but it didn't go off on my alarm clock on my desk. So it's like, yeah, I have like 45 minutes of reading time, and then I can get ready at 11, and I didn't even get ready until almost 11:45, but that was literally the time we were supposed to be at Cheesecake for brunch, because it was technically 12:45, which is the time that I changed it to for us to go to brunch. Anyway, I'm so glad that it worked out, but like literally I'm seeing my best friend on Tuesday, and I think I'm seeing my boyfriend on Wednesday, and I have plans with my best friend and his girlfriend on Saturday, and possibly my other friend. I don't think my other friend's gonna be able to go, but I don't really have that many plans this week, so I want to go to the library tomorrow and binge as much of that book as I can, but now I can listen to the audiobook, so I'm gonna do that while I'm getting into bed, because I am exhausted. Because I didn't realize, like, that I was running an hour behind. And now I can listen to the audiobook so I can watch White Lotus. Because I would like to watch the episode of White Lotus that I missed tonight. Because when we came home from dinner for my mom's birthday, we watched Wicked. Because my mom hasn't seen it yet. And it finally came out for rent. So it was only $5.99. So me and my mom and my brother watched it. And this was only the second time that I've seen it. And I loved it. It was so good. So yeah, I'm going to shut up now. And I will just check in with you guys when we finish the timer, when the timer goes off. And I'll tell you guys how far I get into that book. I'm guessing probably another 60 to 70 pages. I'm reading it a little bit slower than I normally do. I mean, even though I'm going to listen to the audiobook now, probably for like 20 minutes or so. So I'm probably only going to have like an hour more of like reading it physically, and that's going to be it. So I'll let you guys know how far I get when the timer goes off. So bye. That's it, you guys. It's finally done. My timer is going off. So we are finished with this challenge. Finally. I just want to finish the sentence I was on. So good. Damn. Wow. This book is getting good. I literally have 3 more pages in the chapter I was on, but I literally made it exactly halfway into this, and I figured that's when I was going to what I was going to get up to with the 3 hours and 40 minutes that I had left. So I'm almost on page 200. I'm on page 193 now. Yeah, 193. So I should be able to read at least 100 or so more pages today. I might not finish it until tomorrow afternoon because I want to get over page 300 today. So it's like just another 100 pages, which I don't think I'm doing anything today. I really just don't want to leave the house. I'm so tired. I keep on going to bed at fucking 4 in the morning. I don't know why. But so far this has been really good. Like I said, I'm still not feeling that much of the romance. I'm feeling it a little bit more now because, like they're connecting a bit more, but I don't know. I just like don't really care about that storyline that much. I'm really eating up the fantasy in this because, like I said, Emily Wendow is just so good at writing magical worlds, and I really think that that's where she shines. The romance subplot is just not really capturing my attention, and usually for me with a good romantasy is that it has to have like a perfect balance of the romance and the fantasy. This is definitely more fantasy heavy, which again, I don't mind at all because I'm really enjoying it. But I can see why people weren't enjoying this that much. Maybe they were a little bored with the love scenes because honestly, I'm a little bored with them. But besides that, I'm still really digging it. They're in the midst of another trial right now. The trials can get pretty bloody, so it's definitely up. I feel like this is more, even though something is not smutty, I do think some of like the semi-violent things that are happening can be a little bit more upper YA. So like I still think people that are my age could enjoy this. So far, I'm really enjoying it. So let's just do a super quick recap of all the books I was able to read in this video. I don't know why I just didn't grab them in the first place, but you know how much of a mess that I am. But yeah, we got through quite a significant amount of my TBR this month so far in this video. So I'm very happy about that. I wanted to see how many books I could actually finish. And I had a feeling that this is what I was going to get to. So we finished 4.5 books in this video. So I think that's pretty damn good because we got exactly halfway into the 5th book. So that's awesome. So first off, I started with A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. And this was our 5-star read in this video. I absolutely loved this book. This was so much fun. And it's by Sarah Hawley, and I cannot wait to get to the other 2 books in the series. I'm probably not going to read the 2nd book until like April, because, you know, I do have other books on my priority for March. I just really want to get to some other series before I jump back into this one, because like I said to myself I was going to read more epic fantasy in the wintertime this year, and I don't think I read one. So yeah, but I'm gonna try and get to the other series on my TBR before this month is over. But really enjoyed this. 5 out of 5 stars. It was definitely it was such a fun time. I absolutely loved it. Then we read First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. This was good, but it wasn't like amazing, so I gave this a 3.75. It was okay. I don't think heist thrillers are my favorite thing, but I did enjoy the writing quite a bit. Then we went into Next of Kin by Hannah Bonham Young. This we also finished in a day. And this was definitely my, the weakest book I've read from her so far. Like I said, I gave this like a 3.5. I don't really feel like rounding it up any higher. I just thought some of the love scenes were pretty cringe. But it was super short and it was super easy to finish. So now I just have the 2nd book in this duology, and then I will be done with it. But I really don't want to pick it up anytime soon. But I did put the 2nd book on my TBR cart along with the 2nd book from A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. But yeah, this was definitely like my least favorite read in the video. It just wasn't that great. Then we read Expiration Dates by Rebecca Surley, and you know that this book was like super short. I absolutely loved this. I gave this a 4.75 out of 5 stars. It was very close to a 5-star for me. I am still thinking about this book though and how much it impacted me, and I really do think that people should give this a shot. I think this is much more than just the romance in this book. It's so good. I really enjoyed this, and I am looking forward to reading more from Rebecca Surley. I think in 5 years is going to be so good too. I think that's going to be the next one that I read from her. I don't know what it's about, but I gotta look it up. And then, like I said, we got halfway into The Scorpion and the Night Blossom, so I don't know what my rating is. Like I said, we got exactly halfway because I figured out what was halfway last night, and I was like, I think I would be able to do that. So I thought I was gonna get up to page 200, but honestly, it's fine. I didn't really care how much of this I actually got read. I just set a goal for myself on how much I could read in the 3 hours and 40 minutes, and the fact that we got 50% of the way through, I'm happy about that. So I did listen to a few chapters of this on Spotify because, like I said, I did get my Spotify premium listening hours back yesterday. So I did listen to like 3 chapters last night because we watched Wicked because it was my mom's birthday. So I was listening to the audiobook while I was like showering and like getting ready for bed. And then I did listen to 2 chapters this afternoon. And then I literally just read like for 15 minutes so I could finally just finish up this challenge like right now. So yeah, so far, again, I'm really enjoying it. So those are all the books that I read in this video. Again, a very successful reading vlog and a very successful challenge. I'm glad that I was able to get through these books because, like I said, I wasn't even sure about like what to read or if I even wanted to pick up a book because, like I said, when the beginning of the month starts, I am just it's so hard for me to pick up, just sometimes to pick up a book if I'm not in the mood for it. So like I said, I thought if I mood read for the first week, it ends up really helping me in the beginning of the month. I might do There's like 3 other vlogs that I have in mind to do now. I kind of want to do a continue series I'm in the middle of video again because I literally could have 4 books that I could read in that video. But 3 of them are not on my TBR for this month. Only one of them is, which is the second book in Beartown. Because I really, really want to finish that trilogy before the month is over. But now I have the second book in Next of Kin. I have the first book in the When in Rome series by Sarah Adams because I'm reading that out of order because she said you don't have to stick to the order that they are labeled as at all. You can read them in any order that you want. So far I've only read Beg, Borrow, or Steal, but I would like to read When in Rome, which is the first book in the series. And then I really want to continue the Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon and reading A Demon's Guide to Wooing a Witch. So that's literally like 4 books that I could read in one vlog, continuing series I'm in the middle of. But I think the only one that's going to be read in that vlog is A Demon's Guide to Wooing a Witch. No, not that one. What the hell are you talking about? Us Against You. Not that book. What the fuck is wrong with you? Because like I said, that's the only trilogy that's on my TBR this month, and I need to finish up that trilogy before the winter is over, even though there's only 11 days left in the winter time, and I wasn't even planning on reading it until next week because I wanted to read this Woven Kingdom this week. So yeah, I'm going to pick up this Woven Kingdom tomorrow and hopefully finish that by the 16th. And then I'm going to have to read my other, like, Beartown, Stephen King, and TJ Klune, and then I'm going to have to finish off the month, like I said, with the Hunger Games. So I'm not going to have enough time to read those other romance books. But like I said, those should be easy to bang out in April because I already have 4 on the card that I really want to get to. So, which are those 3, and I really want to read Not in Love in April as well. And I also want to read the 3 Done and Dusted books. So honestly, besides new releases next month, I feel like it's just going to be romance reads because I'm going to be in a big romance mood in April anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the books that I was able to read. So yeah, I call this a very successful reading vlog. I'm really happy with the progress that I made in my physical TBR, and we're about to read 5 books. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CBW819 and check out my Poshmark at the same handle. I still have not updated my Poshmark in like forever, so don't blame me. I'm thinking about starting a Vinted though to sell books that I just have no interest in keeping, or I've read them and I'm not that crazy about them and I'd rather like sell them to somebody who like is actually interested in them. So yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna go. And I know this video went on forever, but this is literally the first reading vlog that I finally finished in March. So there you go. So bye. Keep reading. Bye.